Hey folks, I am Snuffleupagus, and I am here streaming another great game of Fury of Dracula for the Doers and Dark Calls tournament. We may have CaptainGyro coming on in a little bit to co-commentate, but I haven't seen him in the last minute or two, so I'll give him an introduction when he hops on. Thanks for watching this late evening game. It's 10 p.m. here on the U.S. East Coast, and all our European friends are almost certainly asleep. So hopefully we'll give them a good show to watch when they wake up in the morning. This game is between CardDontShoot of the team Plotting to Punch. He's playing the Hunters, and he's playing Strider656 playing Dracula. We have a slightly modified Pizza Wizard start here that's kind of cool. And Mina's first event was Long Night, which is not great in itself, but it's a good screener event to obfuscate whatever she draws next. And drawing a horse right off the bat is great for CardDontShoot, so can't beat that. These teams are coming in on kind of opposite ends of the tables. CardDontShoot's team Plotting Punch is second from the bottom right now, with a third of the tournament left to go. And they have 3 wins, and Strider's team has 10 wins. They're at the top of the tables. So all of us who are not Strider or Pizza Wizard are probably rooting for the upset. CardDontShoot is also relatively new to this community. He joined just for this tournament. Strider has been in the community for a while. He has famously won one tournament in the New Blood tournament, which was at the time for new players. So, yeah, Card is coming in as the underdog, and we are going to see if he can pull off the upset. Strider's kind of a wily Dracula. He starts different places, likes to go to less commonly hopped on areas, even though there's a little bit of a risk to it. So it should make for an interesting game. If you're watching, don't forget to say hi in the chat and chime in, and I will do my best to interact with you and talk about your thoughts on the game. Uh, okay, we have an early dark call. Let's see what we get.
Hey everybody, CaptainGyro
Hey,
here,
hey, Captain
sitting down
Gyro.
to join the commentary. Hi Snuff, how you doing? Oh,
Wow, you came in at a great time.
vampiric influence. That's gonna be a horse.
Wow.
That's a dead horse. That's what that is.
Yee. Well, that is a lucky start for our boy Strider, killing off a horse. Wow.
Could be worse. It could be worse. You know, he didn't get to snipe a useful event or
Yep.
anything like that. It's a horse. They're important, but it's just a horse.
Yeah. The It's probably about the middle of like what you could expect, right? If he had gotten like a false tip, that would probably be like a good outcome for Card, bad outcome for Strider. I would say losing a horse to vampiric influence this early. Oh, hard scouts. You could have worse things like a unearthly swiftness or darkness returns or something.
She could have drawn renewed vigor, and he could have swiped that consecrated
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
It could be worse. I mean, on the plus side, hey, at least you know what Dracula's card was. Dracula doesn't have the card in his hand anymore,
Yep.
so there's no threat of having to worry about what is Dracula gonna do with that card.
And Drac didn't put down an encounter. He
He
took two
didn't bounce her
damage.
into a night fight or something. Yeah,
It
it's not calamity. It's bad, but it's not catastrophe.
and it's less bad if you can find a situation where you're supplying a lot, so you can supply that horse back.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, um, Card can
Managed to
kind of
get a
control this game and get a lot of supplies in.
And horses are at their, don't get me wrong, they're always good to have, but I tend to find that they're at their most useful towards the end of the game, because it's towards the end of the game when you've had the most opportunities to organize the ticket pool so that you can get the most reliability out of the horses. It's towards the end of the game when you're going to really need to have to jump on Drac right now. In the first week, it's not necessarily that critical that you'd be able to move by horse. You know, you could take a train somewhere and still probably get to his encounters and pressure Dracula and all that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And if you can kind of get two aggressive hunters like Godalming and Seward to have the horses you do have left there, you could have a third hunter kind of be the trail clearer who may not need it, you know? So, if you can find it,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot that can be done there. So,
No newspaper, sadly.
nope, nope.
A little newspaper action would have been nice there.
Let's see if we get the newspaper before the day 5. What do you think about this Budapest start here instead of Vienna? Slightly modified Pizza Wizard setup.
Interesting. I mean, I don't hate it because I mean it makes Italy weaker, but Italy's already kind of out of range if you're in Vienna, right?
Yeah,
So it doesn't. If he wants to start in Italy, it's not really. It shouldn't have that much bearing on it.
yeah.
You're less capable of getting to Hamburg in time to stop a mature, but that's what you got Dr. Seward in 8 for. You could probably get there if you needed to. I don't really dislike it. I don't mind it at all. I prefer 58, I think simply because that train from 58 to Genoa is so useful, and you can easily train to Berlin from there too. I think I would probably prefer that, but on the other hand, from Budapest you can get to Bucharest with a single rail move, and that leaves you lots of options. You can go to 17 or 56 from there.
Yeah, it certainly makes the East, especially like Varna, Constanta, Galatz, a lot more accessible.
Yeah,
Um,
you could maybe take a chartered carriage to Varna if you had to, or to Salonika.
and the only weakness, as you were saying, is this southern Italy. I think Strider's, that's like might be the one strat Strider doesn't care for, but I'm not sure.
Well, let's think about it this way. If you were in 58 and you do get the horses set up in time, then 11 isn't really helping you that much, right? Because from 58, you can just horse to 53. You can horse to 49. From 11, those are all the same options still. I mean, I guess from 11 you can horse to 10 or to Galatz, but it's tough to say. I mean,
Uh, what is this? CardDontShoot's cat goes goblin when he plays and hides under the dishwasher. That's funny. Okay, not Florence, not Rome. So that, I suppose it's still theoretically possible that in southern Italy if it was like Bari, Naples, Hyde, but
hmm
seems
yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't just.
unlikely.
I would probably have done Naples, Rome.
Sure. Um, so it seems like it's probably unlikely southern Italy then. Possible, but
Yeah,
yeah.
still possible, not too likely. Maybe a wax cylinders will flip over, and then we can know that he didn't hide, and then that'll eliminate it.
My gut says maybe a Central Europe start or a Spain start here with this setup.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't mind a little Central Europe start. You ping pong around the small cities, then you will form from one of them into Zagreb.
Yeah, certainly. I don't know. We'll see. Other than the horse, nothing else interesting in the discard yet.
Well, what would be good to see is after Dracula moves on the next turn, the newspapers at dawn flip over that first encounter card.
Yeah.
Then the hunt will be on.
No early rumor tokens yet. So maybe we got a hoax, or maybe we want to do some damaging encounters.
Could be a hoax, yeah. Could be he's put down the hoax, and then the rumor's gonna come this turn, maybe.
Yeah, if he has like Hoax Aristocratic or vice versa, a Spain start would be pretty strong because only Seward can get to it. And if the first one delays Seward, he's not getting to the next one.
Hmm.
Although I guess the Dark Call kind of makes that maybe not the case. But that would have been probably the
I
thinking
mean,
initially.
another thing you can do is put down a Bats in Madrid, and then you put down the Hoax in Grenada.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite protected in that situation. All right, are we going to get the newspapers? Let's go.
Come on, let's see it. Let's see it.
Or is he just thinking about playing long night?
No
Ah, no
newspapers.
newspapers. That's a rough
That's
start.
unfortunate. Maybe he'll draw it this turn.
Yeah, which might even be better. Okay, one stake
Starting
discarded.
stake and rifle.
Rufus.
Rufus is the ally.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense. Not yet. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate, but the first thing's not rumored, and it does make him supply a bit more to get that horse back. Feels like it's more than 2/3 of my games I don't get it. Huh. Well, in fairness, he did lose 2 supplies on Mina, so his odds of drawing it are probably a little bit lower than normal. Normally, the odds of getting it by this point are, a little over
But
60%, but
on the plus side, Mina's going to supply right now. There's going to be 9 item cards left. That means on the next day, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to get 5 more. And then the reshuffle after that, if you can do another one, another full round of supplying. You see what I mean? So it's not like that horse is really unobtainable. You can get it back into the deck with just it will be back eventually.
oh yeah. And with this lack
Long
of
before the end of the
newspapers,
game.
it'll come back sooner rather
Question
than
is
later.
if you can actually draw into it again.
Still ticketing. How are we doing on events? Chuf Godalming. Mina.
He's pinging a lot. Does that mean that we've got the tickets organized already? Or maybe Mina and Godalming have their tickets organized, so they can't continue to shuffle them in anymore.
Yeah. We do seem to be stacked on events. Only Godalming's event hand is not full. And Mina, of course, has a long night, which is, something you would be willing to throw away.
There's the rumor.
Yep. Well, if you get newspapers now, that'd be a good one to reveal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You could just cut your losses on the first 2 and go after the rumor.
Yep. Card's gotta not let it rattle them.
Yeah, you can come back from games like these.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
We are burning through that deck.
Yeah, just do your best Pizza Wizard impression. Keep drawing.
There's good luck and surprising return of the discard. So
Well, I don't really like seeing surprising return there, but good luck I can understand. She's gonna have to discard again. This is unfortunate. That is most unfortunate. And she's keeping the long night. I can only suspect he discarded another long night or a blood transfusion.
It is blood transfusion. Yep.
Oh, does it reveal it?
Yeah, it's the. I'm just looking at the discard pile.
It does show what was discarded. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if I can game out who discarded the good. I guess good luck would have been discarded by Seward, Godalming, Mina, and surprising return discarded by Helsing. If we're going in order. So. So yeah, they're all discarding.
Well, the good news is, Yeah, I mean, the good news is he has something better than good luck. He has something better than surprising return, or at least something he thinks is better.
Yeah.
So it's not all doom and gloom. We're assembling the hand of good cards.
And
Here's the
there's a
hoax.
hoax. Okay.
Bit unfortunate. He's gonna get his pick of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why don't you just grab that vampiric influence a second time, play it, discard the other horse?
I don't know if he can, though, because Mina's showing a rifle now. What if Godalming has it? He,
Certainly he didn't. Certainly he didn't trade the horse back to Godalming. You would, if anything, you would kick the horse from Godalming to Mina so that Godalming can draw into the other horse. But maybe the third one was already drawn by one of the other two hunters, in which case that could be it.
behind the
Well, now we
veil.
know it's wild
Wild
horses.
horses. Okay. So we discard the
Okay.
fog. That wild horse is going to be a pain.
Yeah.
But you can only use it
Yeah.
once. So if
Quickly
the
becoming one of the favorite Dracula cards these days.
yeah, rightly so, with the change in the immortal update so that it can affect um, fast horse movement, it's just so much more powerful. And we are just about done with the event deck, so that horse is going to come back soon.
Maybe a little too powerful, if you ask me. I don't know. I've been wrong before, but I'm starting to think maybe
One,
like
two.
good luck should be able to cancel wild horses or something.
Before I click off the discard pile, I'm just checking out what's in here before because this is the last time I'm going to be able to look at it because it's reshuffled. I'm looking at 2 stakes in the discard before the reshuffle. Obviously the 1 horse. There's no knives in the discard, no hosts in the discard.
So they're obviously carrying knives and hosts.
Yeah, not a huge surprise, but seems like he's been quite efficient, like and has not had to discard anything good other than the horse.
Right. Right.
Mystic Research. In case you haven't had enough supply, we got some more supplying for you supplying.
Well, that was a good time to play it.
Yeah.
Get that newspapers. Get it off the bottom of the deck if you have to.
Dude, these events. Wow.
He's not liking the shuffle. It's one of those games. Hits
For
you with the
Mina is
awkward
showing
shuffle.
forewarned, which just goes to show what kind of hand of event she has if she's choosing to reveal the forewarned.
Right. It must be he's getting all the bangers, but nothing to find Dracula with.
Yeah. We've seen some hired scouts. We've seen, I guess that's really it. We haven't seen any,
Rufus.
we saw Rufus. We haven't seen any local rumors or evil presence or certainly newspapers. Crazy.
Which is why his hand is getting so full. He's being forced to discard.
Well, if the rumor event matures, we'll find out Dracula's general area that way. Man, this is when I had this.
Yeah, what?
I had this happen in like a game versus Spencer in the Immortal Invitational. I just got slaughtered because he built up all these layers that I couldn't get to while I was waiting a week and a half for this. The nice thing is that Strider's not really a lair guy, so at least you'll get to see that that rumor token location and start moving then.
I wonder what this next
Local
card is though.
rumors.
Maybe a bodyguards?
Could be. Double hoax. Agatha.
Possible.
If you still have a surprising return, you can search with
This
it.
is unfortunate. You
Nope.
should have searched with Rufus the first time.
Certainly, if you had surprising return. Well,
I don't think he did. I don't think he did because he wouldn't. I don't think it's likely he would put Rufus Smith into the ally slot when you're already holding on to surprising return. I think he drew surprising return later, but I think sometimes you just have to have a little bit of faith that you'll either draw a different ally that you'll then want to put into place, or that you will get the surprising return. Because, I mean, Rufus doesn't do anything for you if you can't find where Dracula is. Then again, I mean, maybe on the next turn you get newspapers, and now you feel like a jerk just for searching. There's no one right answer. But I think it's typically better, unless you get Agatha or Jonathan Harker, if it's really early like that, I think it's better to search.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I like to just keep the effect and see if I get something else later. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like your proposal is probably the textbook way to do it, but I find myself I always find it hard to not take the ally effect if I don't have any other allies. I don't know. That may be a flaw in my game, but I feel that way. I think that he's already out of Mystic Research supplies. I
Oh,
wouldn't
I
mean
think
to.
so too. I think he went
Yeah.
flying like crazy.
Long night. We tossed an escape route.
Now, if you get the newspaper, you're going to feel like a real unlucky guy because Speed's on the trail.
Yeah.
He's not adjacent. At least he's
Okay.
not having to discard more events, getting some of those proximity ones out of the way. And Helsing's getting an event here. Oh, what is this? What is this? Is this the newspaper? I bet that was the newspaper right there. And he's gonna have to wait till dusk to play it. Alright, scouts. Okay,
Come
this is
on.
it.
Central
This
Europe,
is it.
maybe? Spain?
Throw some darts. Throw some
Hey,
darts. There you
Spain!
go.
Nice.
It's not all
Okay.
doom and gloom here.
There we go.
Unfortunately, we would have already learned about caddies as soon as it matures. And
Yeah.
Speed's gonna get cleared. And if he was in caddies, we could pretty much assume he went to Madrid. So
I'm guessing
let's try
Cadiz.
to look on the bright side here, though. At least we figured something out. It
Yeah.
could be a lot worse.
So I guess the nice thing here is that you can quickly check where he's going. Like I mean, you could check if he's going to Central Europe now or not. I guess
Yeah. Yeah, you
Evil
check
Presence
Saragossa
triggered.
or
Evil
before.
Presence triggered last turn, so I'm guessing he could be in Saragossa now or Toulouse now. Okay, Reckless matures. All right, now the hunt begins.
No, no, Evil Presence went off.
I thought it went off not this turn but last turn, but I
Oh,
could be
did it?
misremembering. So if he was in Saragossa 48, it wouldn't be triggered on. It wouldn't hit Evil Presence, but I could be misremembering.
I I, I think I forget exactly the order of operations how it went down, but I think if he was in Toulouse, Evil Presence was drawn at that time.
Okay.
It would have told us. I think he's probably in Toulouse now. If I had to guess, I mean, Strider knows better than to linger around in Spain for longer than necessary, right? You don't want to have to leave by sea. You don't want to muck about until you have no choice but to leave by sea. You want to move inland, get towards Central Europe, and then get out from there. So I think Toulouse is a likely suspect right now for Dracula's current location.
We're gonna see a lot of these pop-ups now.
Yeah, a lot of this fast horse stuff.
So now Card has to do a couple things. One, he needs to put enough pressure on Dracula to make him burn stuff like the wild horses and his wolf form. Two, he's got to deal with this rumor token. He goes to
Oh,
Barcelona.
just Barcelona. I don't know
I
about
don't know if I
that.
like that. Yeah,
No, no, I don't like that either.
I'd rather check someplace
If
he's
he
more
is in
likely to have been.
Barcelona, if he is in Barcelona, that's fine because he's only going to leave by sea or go to 48 or 50 or Toulouse 54, right? That's an example of a city where if he's going to leave, he's either going by sea or he's moving closer to you. Uh, so let him do that.
Yeah, I think a Saragossa check might have been good. See if he is left or not.
So it was the city he went Madrid, then he fed, then he moved.
Oh, there are
So
three
this,
stakes in the discard. So who has the fourth stake?
I do rather like what Strider's done here. He's put his rumored vampire adjacent to Madrid, which leaves 6 cities that it could be in.
Yes.
So that's pretty
My
crafty.
my hunch is
Not that he
that
could have anticipated Madrid would be revealed, but now that it has been, there's lots of options for the vampire to be.
my hunch is well, the nice thing for figuring out that if you would check Saragossa, you could kind of game out the options a little bit better, I
Yes.
think. But my hunch is that he went to Granada just because it's the furthest away. And if you're playing to start in Cadiz, you're probably initially thinking put something else there. It's still far away. I don't know. That's my just spidey sense of that Granada would be
But
second rather than Lisbon.
maybe the hoax was in Granada, though.
I thought the first
Did
one
he
was
mature 2 cards? He matured the hoax, but what was after the hoax?
good
But before
point.
the reckless.
Yeah, that's
Did he
strange.
layer it? No, he didn't layer it
There's no
either.
layer.
Maybe it was a hide card.
But wouldn't that get revealed by the hired scout of Cadiz?
No, because he didn't hide in Cadiz. He hid wherever he put the hoax. Hoax, Dark Call, hide, Cadiz with rumor.
Hoax,
So when
Darkfall, hide.
Hoax fell off the trail and matured, that left the hide card sitting there with no associated location. And when
But
Hoax matures, it doesn't reveal the city.
but he revealed Cadiz with hired scouts before it matured. So wouldn't that necessarily reveal the hide card if it was associated with it, even if there was a
No,
dark
no, no,
call?
no, 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 no. He didn't hide in Cadiz. He hid wherever he put down the hoax, which I suspect is Grenada.
Wasn't Cadiz the hoax?
No. Cadiz was the vampire.
I thought Madrid was the vampire.
No. Madrid had an encounter on it, but it didn't have the rumor token on it.
Oh, I
What
see.
Strider's done here, I suspect, was to start in either Madrid or Alicante, or maybe even Cadiz. It's not really relevant because he misdirected
Oh, we're
it.
using the wild horse already.
Yeah. Maybe
Huh.
that's where Dracula is. But he went to Granada. He put down the hoax. He dark called. Then he hid so that he could protect his hoax with a bats or a saboteur or something like that, right?
Huh.
Then he moved to Cadiz and he put down the rumor.
I see what you're saying. I think I must have
Then
misremembered it.
he moved to
Yeah.
Madrid after that and he fed.
So it's probably Granada then, which would explain why it's not on the trail
Well,
now.
no, yeah, that's not where the current reckless is, at
No, we know where
least.
the hoax
Yeah,
was.
right. So he went from Madrid. He's probably, I suspect, he has gone to Alicante. That would explain the wild horses. Either that, or he's playing a big brain game where he's gonna make CardDontShoot waste an additional turn checking Alicante, only to find there's nothing there.
Yeah, if I'm Godalming, I'm going to go to Saragossa just to make it more likely that it is Alicante. I wonder if CardDontShoot just was really confident that it was Alicante, perhaps because of the evil presence, and so wanted to intentionally avoid something like Saragossa that would have been like a bat, or could have been a bat. Maybe that's the thinking. Oh,
Possible.
there's the newspaper.
There's
Finally,
Alicante with
it is
Hyde.
Alicante.
Okay,
Uh,
makes sense.
so we finally see the newspapers on Saturday of week 2. Hooray. Alright, so this is tricky because, if Stewart doesn't have a stake and only one of them can have a stake, clearly that can be tricky. See what happens.
Got to deal with this hide card, but as long as it isn't bats, that's okay. But if it's bats, that's problematic. But I mean, you could even have Godalming excellent weather there, or just horse there in a couple days.
Okay.
Is Toulouse
So he's
now.
probably in Clermont-Ferrand now. Now that the wild horses are gone, if you had if you had consecrated ground, okay, bets.
There's the bats. Let's see the forewarn.
Must have it.
You don't strictly have to forewarn it if a Godalming can still get there, but I don't suppose that's a good idea. Yeah, go ahead and forewarned it.
2, 3.
Now, can he kill the vampire? Oh, I kind of, Snuff, I kind of secretly hope he doesn't actually have a stake, so things will get really interesting here, and there'll be a lot on the line. He
Yeah.
might have to fight it with a knife and a gun, like
Oh, he's
pulls
going
out
in
a
for the fight with
crucifix or
Drac.
something.
He's taking the
Okay, all
one-on-one.
right. All right. Dracula's got a spy. That's not great for Van Helsing. Spies are really irritating.
Huh. So,
Let him see the hand. I mean, unless you're holding on to the white ones, like, just let him see it. I think that's a better option than costing the old man his weapon. Old man need weapon. He's old.
yeah, I mean, unless you have an event. Okay, you
Yeah,
showing it.
let him
Renewed
see it.
vigor, excellent weather, gun, horse, heavenly host. All right.
You can't be fighting Dracula unarmed when you're 72 years old. Like, that's just not a
Yeah.
good proposition.
So that's definitely going to encourage Drac to do some fanging. Thankfully, there's Agatha.
He's adjacent to Lord Godalming.
Whoa, mind blown.
Who would suspect? Okay, this is gonna get interesting here.
Yeah, escape is back could be dangerous. I think you want to prevent that.
hmm
Um, if you have
But even minor
CG,
damage could be good here.
CG could make this whole situation really interesting if he has it. If you can get out of this, because we know he has
I
all
think
the
with
heavenly hosts.
it's really tricky because even if you throw the Heavenly Host and you damage Dracula, well, then what? What if he fangs you? He's gonna get half of that health back. I mean, he could still escape as a bat. There's the
Plotting,
plotting. Run
escape.
away?
Oh
Oh
no.
no!
Ugh.
Oh no!
Plotting to dodge.
That's not good.
Hey, JB Philly's here. Man, you have missed
Hi, JB Philly.
a supply fest. No newspapers until Saturday week
Actually, you
2.
you sat down at just the right time. Things are starting to heat up here.
Yeah. So if Helsing can get out of this fight alive, and there is consecrated ground, you could kind of force Drake to either stay where he is, or wolf back into Spain, or move to Bordeaux. Like you could force him to go to a place where you can get a 3v1, and which might require ignoring the vamp and just putting it all on the line for one fight. With that, which honestly might be worth it, but it requires Helsing to escape. And unfortunately, we are we have a plotting in play. So
Rifle.
heavenly host, okay. Um, well, this is gonna get tricky. The damage is nice. But another claw will kill you. So we gotta play the rifle at the right time. I might play the mesmerize. Okay. Well, no need to cancel that.
I'm watching your live stream Snuff, and it's I don't know if this is on my end or what, but it's stuck.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
you're
you may
right.
want to check. You may want to check your streaming. Might be a technical issue here.
Yeah. I don't know why that is.
What did he strengthen there? He strength into the rifle. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
This could be it for old Van Helsing.
How do I fix this streaming issue?
And he played claws too, so even great strength won't be of any assistance.
Stop streaming and broadcast. Huh. Sorry, folks. I don't know why my screen is frozen. It's not frozen on my computer.
Hmm.
Does seem to be frozen on YouTube. And I'm not exactly a technical guru.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any way you can just like basically reset the stream, like turn it off and back on again. I think once you end it, that'll end the stream.
Studio mode settings.
A dark call?
That's bold.
That's just cocky. Ooh, roadblocks.
Oh, man. Well, using taking a roadblock is not the worst thing in the world.
Gonna make sure Dr. Seward can't get to him next turn, and he knows Godalming doesn't have a horse.
Hey, Combat Wombat. I'm sorry I'm having all these technical issues. Welcome to the audience. Yeah, this game has been deeply unfair to Card, just given how long it took him to reveal the trail. No newspapers. He did some damage, but he's lost Helsing. There was a mature. If this Vamp mature and Alicante matures, the game's over. So it's been really, really rough. And really through no fault of Cards. The only thing I probably would have done differently is either have Godalming jump on um, Clermont-Ferrand so that you could get a 2v1, or if I didn't do that, like if I did the Toulouse thing that he did, don't have Helsing go into Clermont-Ferrand solo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
team.
about that. It's too early for that kind of play. Dracula was at full health, right? He could escape as a bat as early as round 3. He didn't have a handful of events to use against Dracula. He really only had his items. You know, if he'd had a heroic leap or planned ambush or something, like it might have helped, but we're staking the vampire in Alicante. That's something. Oh, so Godalming did use a horse.
Yeah,
And now
he's
he's going to
got it.
fight Dracula.
Sorry. Oh, yes, definitely use your imagination.
Yeah, yeah. To
Um,
recap, Dracula's in Clermont-Ferrand, and Van Helsing moved on to him, but he got defeated due to a good plotting. Dracula then dark called in Clermont-Ferrand while he was revealed.
took a roadblock,
He got roadblock.
which doesn't do very much, and now there's a
But
1v1 with Godalming and
Godalming,
Drac.
yeah, Godalming's moving into Clermont-Ferrand around the roadblock with his horses.
How about a punch and then
And
double Heavenly Host for the win? Let's see that.
it was actually really useful that he hadn't previously revealed the horse, or at least I don't think he had previously revealed the horse, because that manipulated Dracula into playing the roadblock the way he did.
All right, first thing is a Mesmerize against a punch.
Nice.
Plotting to punch. Nice.
Yeah, I think An underrated skill in this game is holding back on your fast horses in order to surprise Dracula with them. I mean, most Draculas will assume that you have them once you've gone through the deck once, but you don't know exactly where they are all the time.
Oh, a double mesmerize. Oh, it's a dodge. Okay.
Dodge. Shame he wasn't able to avoid a fangs.
Yeah. All right, now for the big one. Dracula.
Is he going to escape as a bat?
Yeah. That's the question here. Obviously, if it's strength, you want to use Heavenly Host. If it's escape, you want to play the knife. I'm assuming he has horse, knife, Heavenly Host, because
It's a pretty safe bet.
we had a good long look at the item discard before it reshuffled, and there were no knives, no Heavenly Hosts. Dracula's thinking long and hard about this. Like, he's favored, but with a little bit of luck, escape is missed against the knife.
Okay, all
Alright, so
right.
Drac's down to 6. I kind of like...
Well, it's not exactly escape as bat, but
he is
didn't
gonna...
get stabbed by a knife.
Yep. So now he's going to wolf form, I assume. If I'm Drac, I'm probably wolf forming to a port. I have to imagine like something like
25?
yeah,
29?
I feel like 25 you could get hit by
Maybe
Mina and Chartered Carriage.
maybe you just go to Brussels, and
Yeah,
then that leaves you a few options afterwards. Like you could go to Amsterdam, you could go to Cologne, Hamburg.
yeah, I think that's right. Hunter's movement's likely to be bad. They don't really have a great way to get up to the Brussels area.
That event
And
deck's looking kind of low, though.
Toulouse and Saragossa have to be dealt with because any mature could be a vamp.
Yeah, which would
And
seal the deal.
yeah, let's see the deal. Unless there's a vampire lair, which would enable hunters to stay alive with 1 influence.
Still, even if you have vampire lair, I think you don't want Dracula to be at 12 influence. That's really risky proposition. Yeah. What happens when you jump on him and he's got a reckless vampire there? Yeah.
So to narrate the situation, we have Dracula leaving Clermont-Ferrand. He did not wolf form. So Toulouse is on the trail. So he's either at Marseille, Geneva, Paris, Nantes, Bordeaux, or Bordeaux.
A lot of options from one city.
We know that Helsing lost a renewed vigor. There could be another renewed vigor. Helsing has no items or events, I believe. He just came out of the hospital. And he's in Madrid. Seward is in Alicante, but both road and rail from Alicante to Saragossa are blocked by roadblocks. Godalming is in Clermont-Ferrand, so he's next to Drac, but obviously he's got a lot of guesswork to do. Mina is all the way in Budapest. She's just been supplying.
Maybe you could excellent weather Seward to 36 here.
Oh, that'd be good. We know there was an excellent weather somewhere.
Yeah, blocked in by the road.
It was revealed at some point.
I mean, heck, even a 3-2 ticket would at least get him to Bordeaux. You know? I mean, that wouldn't be a bad movement option at all.
Isn't there like a direct Alicante rail to okay, Godalming's moving.
You can rail from Alicante to either Madrid or Barcelona, but either of those takes you through to
Nantes?
Saragossa and then Bordeaux.
Which do you check here? Nantes, Geneva?
Oh man, it's a tough
Paris? Call. I don't know.
It's really not an easy call.
I feel like Nantes or Geneva is probably the more likely option.
It depends on, too, if you have the forewarned, because Dracula's probably sitting on fog.
Oh, he got it! Nice guess. And there's
And then he
fog.
is sitting on fog.
Okay, no forewarned.
Now get Dr. Seward to Bordeaux if you can. Start
Yeah.
closing in on him. Or to Saragossa, I guess. I mean, you're probably going to have to use Dr. Seward to get to Saragossa, because Van Helsing doesn't have anything. Doesn't have any items.
Yeah. That's what he's going to do here.
So you want Seward to deal with Saragossa.
So Drac is going to feed, probably, and then maybe go to sea. And it is another vampire. Oh no. Well, fortunately, it's ambushing. Heroic
Heroic
leap.
Leap. Heroic Leap's the Reckless.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, the ambush makes a
It's
lot of
too
sense.
bad. It's too
Dracula wants
bad
as many
Godalming
points
didn't
as
have
he
that
can get.
heroic leap. Although I guess Dracula wouldn't take the fight, so I take that back.
Nah, nah. He's not going to fight now.
All right, so the reckless is gone. That's good. Seward can heal back at night.
Dracula's probably going to feed, I imagine.
Yeah. The interesting question will be, what will he do after the feed? Presumably go to sea, but hunters could bring back Rufus.
He could go to sea. He could wolf form.
Could also wolf form. We got 1 week to go until Fury mode.
Mina's just so out of position.
So with 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Tuesday move, Wednesday move, Thursday move, Friday move, Saturday move, Sunday move. Yeah, it's not safe. He's almost to the point where he can sail to victory, but not quite there.
Dr. Seward dealing with Toulouse. No ambush. And Helsing probably going to supply again. Yep. Discards the Dracula card. Mina supplying. Mina's got to get in the fight. Why is she still supplying?
I don't know. I guess he's probably just thinking, what do you do with her?
Maybe. Well, now what do you do with her? But if you'd have moved her 3 turns ago, by now she'd be in 36.
Alright, so the fog is now gone. It's night of Tuesday of week 3. Seward did not search Toulouse. I imagine he'll do it. Dracula's 10 influence. So Vampire Lure would be incredible here.
Yes, that would be quite handy.
I have to... Or Surprising Return, although one of them is in the discard. Money Troll's also in the discard.
That's not good. It seems to me like he just got all the good cards. had to start throwing stuff out, making tough decisions because his hand was just so bogged down with really useful cards, but they're not useful until you know where Dracula is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Heroic Leap, we've seen Money Trail, we've seen both Forewarns, we've seen a Chartered Carriage.
I admire...
Good Luck, Sense of Emergency, Escape Route, Mystic Research, Blood Transfer. Like, I mean, his hand was just so bogged down.
Yeah, I admire a couple of things about what Card's done. One is being patient with doing all that supplying when he really didn't have anything better to do without the newspapers. And I also kind of admire his spidey sense of correctly guessing not. Because that is kind of one of the more likely options.
Yeah,
so
that was a good read.
I respect that. Yeah.
What is he misdirected here?
And he's done a really effective job clearing the trail, not dying to a vamp.
He's misdirected Clement Ferrand here, Strider. And now he's going to move without wolf form. Whoa, Strider.
Do we
What
have
are
the
we
other
cooking
renewed
up
vigor?
here?
Maybe
I mean,
he's...
a speedy telegraph would be enormous here because you could send Van Helsing to 8.
Maybe it's another fog? There's 7 encounters left. We've seen 1 fog. The other was discarded, so it's not fog. Okay.
Oh, he fell for that.
Yeah.
No, he
It's probably Le
misdirected
Havre.
it. He misdirected it precisely because he wouldn't move there. Yeah, Clement Ferrand, I think, is Dracula's kind of his worst option there, to be honest with you. Besides Bordeaux. Yeah, I think from Nantes, your 2 worst options are Bordeaux, because you could end up in a 3-on-1, or Clement Ferrand, because you could end up in a 2-on-1. So I think it makes a lot more sense that he would have gone to Paris or Le Havre. Probably Le Havre.
Yeah, and the thing about Le Havre, um, it frees up a longer sea movement trajectory. So he could go English Channel north. Like he can sail to win now. So we're gonna need Vamplair and or Rufus.
We've already discarded a surprising return,
Yeah.
and Rufus is in the discard.
Unless Strider doesn't go to sea.
I mean, Dr. Seward has a horse. You could have moved him to Paris.
Yeah, I mean I think he was committed to making sure that Toulouse wasn't a vamp.
Oh, right. He had to deal with Toulouse. What was the encounter there?
I think it was a soil.
Soil, yeah. So, I mean, that's good. You want to clear that up.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Strider is just he does take some risks. He takes more risks than I think are often necessary. And look, he's staying on land here. If you have a speedy telegraph, I might send like Helsing to Bordeaux first. Nope, we don't have that.
It's tough to say for sure because, like you said, he might just be planning to sail for a while at this point.
It could also be like a hide in Le Havre. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would check out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Double the encounters, double the fun.
So if you're Godalming, I think you go to Le Havre.
Yeah.
Godalming has drawn another item since discarding the Heavenly Host.
If only.
Oh. What?
If only that heroic leap had been. If he'd have managed to be able to save the heroic leap and use it on Dracula,
Oh, it
and
was Paris.
also
Okay.
Rufus Smith was in play, the whole game would be very different at that point.
So the good
You'd have
thing,
Rufus Smith in play. You'd have a Dracula with 5 less health.
well, the good thing is he's not. I guess he could still go to the sea this turn if he went Paris Le Havre. But it looks like he's trying to stay on land. If he's staying on land, you can jump on him. It's just going to take a little luck. So
I
maybe
mean, my two. I suspect either Le Havre or Strasbourg. Honestly, it's probably Strasbourg because if he wanted to go to Le Havre, he could have done it. Why go to Paris first?
Yeah, that does seem right.
Geneva's a good check. I agree with the Geneva check there. Dr. Seward can actually manage to get there, and it does eliminate a city.
I agree.
Unless. Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
So now
Dracula could wolf form back to Clement Ferrand. And it's the last thing they would expect.
yeah, Wolf out of Strasbourg would be really bad.
I mean, he could be in Brussels too, and he could wolf form back to Clement Ferrand. I don't think they would see that coming at all. They're going to be thinking, oh, he could be here, he could be here, he could be there.
My video seems to be working now, but it's like really, really delayed.
Yeah, it's straightening out a bit.
So bizarre. Alright, so what's he going to do now? Did he go back to Le Havre?
I
Or is he
suspect
going
he'll
to move
slide
around
the
Europe?
trail. This is all about where you need to deduce what you know about your opponent here.
Van Helsing, if he has a 3-2 ticket, can come up to Paris and start dealing with the trail, while the other two go off on the hunt. 9 health Drac.
This would be way easier if Mina Harker was engaged.
Yeah, because you can rail around the Germania area.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing well, but if I have a criticism, I think it's Mina Harker. The supplying is really important, but not when you're trying to catch Dracula with 2 hunters, which is basically what's going on right now. He's trying to catch him with 2 hunters.
Yeah. Honestly, I would have
You're running
expected
out of
going to
time.
C, and if he does go to C, then Mina not moving is probably better. But he's not going to C, so since he's not, then yeah, having Mina up there going around via the rail would be helpful.
I mean, she could take a chartered carriage all the way to Cologne.
Even just having her in Vienna would shorten it up and make more spaces accessible to her, which could be helpful.
Sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and move. Even if it's not a great move, it's not an efficient move, you're just moving one city by carriage. Sometimes it just needs to be done. Move her into proximity. Heck, she could have moved ages ago and been in Munich, and even then she'd be at least relevant.
So
You
I'm
never know
guessing
when
that's a wolf
somebody
from
in Munich is gonna
Strasbourg.
take a strong train somewhere. I suspect. Yeah, I suspect Wolf from Strasbourg.
So now what do you do? Hypnosis, if you have it?
Who's she gonna hypnosis with? She's all by herself.
Yeah.
You have to have her, like, in the action a little bit so she can use that ability. It's not Le Havre. No, it's not Le Havre because he wouldn't go from Paris to Le Havre in order to wolf form, right?
Nope, he'd go to Strasbourg to wolf form.
Yeah, exactly. If you wanted to go to Le Havre and wolf form, just go to Le Havre and wolf form from Nantes. You don't need to make a pit stop in Paris.
So I'm trying to think if I'm Strider, where do I wolf form to from Strasbourg?
Blame it for on. I'm telling you, it's the last thing they suspect.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Milan, because from there you could go to Venice at that point.
Um, Nantes wouldn't be bad either. That's kind of like the last place you would check, in my opinion. And then you can just again go to C. Although he really is not keen on going to C. I don't know why. Maybe he wants the IDS. Oh no, the audio's cutting
No,
out too.
I think he's
Sorry,
I
audience.
think he's
I
doing
apologize for this being god awful.
I think he's doing the right thing staying on land.
Oh. Um.
Good news is it won't last too much longer. One way or another, it'll be over soon.
So Godalming goes back to Paris, presumably to check
I
the
mean,
rumor
yeah.
token.
Well, he had a yellow one come up on the horses, so you didn't have many
Could have checked Nantes
choices.
though.
That's true.
Could have
That's
checked
true.
not and then had
Actually, would have been
Helsing.
okay with that.
Helsing
Yeah.
go to Paris.
If Van Helsing can get the stake, or heck, you could even send him in without the stake and just hope he can kill it. I bet it's a
Seward.
new vampire.
So Godalming just moved to Paris. Seward is horsing from Strasbourg, which was the area Dracula formed from. He's gonna guess Munich, and it is not
Hmm.
Munich.
No, I don't think he'd do that. It's moving him too close to Mina Harker without any real benefit.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, Mina is showing Vampire Lair.
Oh, that's huge.
So maybe that's why she's staying where she is, because she's fishing for a steak.
She needs the stake, yeah.
Yeah. And if you can hold that Vampire Lair to the last second, you can kind of surprise Drac with it.
You know, I suspected this wasn't a vampire, actually, because why rumor it? You've got enough points that all you need to do is get the vampire to mature and you win the game. So why rumor it at all when you're better off just not rumoring it and not telegraphing the vampires there?
Yeah. How many vamps are there of each type? 3?
There's 3 reckless, 3 aristocratic, 2 new vampires.
So we've seen all the reckless. We haven't seen the news. Or the aristocratics.
Could be an aristocratic in Strasbourg, could be an aristocratic after the wolf form. None of that would surprise me. Maybe a new vampire, in fact. Matter of fact, the rumor really gave away the game, so to speak, as far as Dracula's plans. Like, I don't want to be too bold in what I'm about to say here, but I think you could have safely ignored Paris. I'm serious,
Yeah.
because a good player would recognize. Well, I don't mean to say anybody's good or not good. I don't mean it like that. But with strong thinking, you could recognize that, like, there's no point in rumoring it.
Oh, he
Dracula
found
would been a
Claremont. You
fool
called
to
it.
rumor a vampire. I
Bruh,
told you, man.
you
I'm on
called
point
it.
tonight. There's
Yeah.
no vampire in Paris. He will form to Clermont-Ferrand. He knew they wouldn't suspect it, but they have. So there's still a chance here. He put a bats down.
Okay.
Get to Marseille. No. I guess he's heading to 8. He probably went back to Nantes. Like you said.
Oh, that's a lair.
It's a lair.
Ooh, Toulouse is a lair. So.
Van Helsing dealing with all these spies.
Not Bordeaux.
Now
oh, wow, he has nothing. Garlic and 2 crucifixes.
Well, at least Dracula won't be able to fang him.
Okay, so Clermont-Ferrand, he's either in Bordeaux, Nantes, or Santander. What a hand. So, this is Sunday. Next move is Fury phase. Surely you go to C.
I reckon you do go to C, but don't call me Shirley.
Yeah. Nice homage to Airplane.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more reason to take any more risk at this point. You've done enough of the shenanigans.
Card says that'll do it. Wait unless we got one more. Yeah, Card, you do have one more.
This might be a great example of a game where maybe the right answer was to Night Supply. I mean, it's impossible to say, because for all you know, that could have made the situation worse. But when you can't get your newspapers, you can't seem to get to anything in time, spies are killing you, like,
Yep.
I don't know, maybe just like 1 or 2 Night Supplies. Maybe with Mina to get that the stake for the vampire lair, something like that. It's like I said, we'll never know. But I think night supplying does have a place, even if it's risky.
Yeah, certainly not supplying for that stake would be helpful.
It's there to bail you out of games like this where you're just everything's up against you. So it was Clement Ferrand after all.
He's still not going to see. Man, what a ham. Okay, so you know that the Dracula's current location.
Well, if you
Well,
don't
oh, I
kill him
guess it
this
could be in
turn,
the
that's
Havre.
it. This is
Go to
all or
go to Nantes,
nothing.
yeah, go to Nantes.
No renewed vigor. I
Go to
guess
Nantes.
Van Helsing had the only one, and he lost it when he died.
Yeah. Nope. Okay. So that means
So that means he
he's
went to.
in
Oh, he
Santander
probably went to Geneva. Oh no,
under
he's in
Hyde,
Santander.
but oh man, he's gonna take 4 damage. Helsing has nothing to fight him with.
Oh
There's a
no,
forewarned.
no, the forewarned.
What's the
Okay.
other thing? Another
Ah,
bodyguard.
double bodyguards.
That's made for
Can you imagine if he
Helsing.
didn't have the forewarned and he just got bodyguard? The henchmen just took care of him on their own. Oh my gosh.
Um. So what do you do here? You can. Oh, we have the
Vampire Lair.
Vampire. All right. So you
That
got
won't
one
be
more
much
turn.
good if Van Helsing dies. Hmm.
Plan to
Oh
ambush.
no, this
Okay. Well, this could get
stinks.
him to escape. At
If
least.
only he'd been able to get a weapon or something.
Yeah.
But 2 crucifixes
Well, you can
on
escape.
the character who you don't want to have the crucifixes. It's one thing if Mina Harker
Oh,
has 2 crucifixes, but Van Helsing doesn't want crucifixes like that. He can take the bite token.
he can. If there's a claw, he would need great strength to escape.
He has great
Plotting.
strength though.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah,
So
punch him.
escape. Don't punch. Escape.
Punch him. What are you gonna do? Gotta win the game.
Okay, he punches.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, punch him. Now you dodge, but he's probably counting on that. I imagine Dracula now he's going to want to strength or claw. I'm thinking.
I would think so.
Yeah, he'll want to strength or claw. So at that point you dodge or you escape.
Strength.
Good
To a
dodge.
dodge. All right.
Good read. So now, I mean, he's going to want to strength or claw again if he has the other one. He likely does. He's probably
So I
either
guess you
got the
play the
second strength or he's got one of the
garlic.
claws.
Yeah.
Yeah, garlic with great strength. If he does happen to claw you.
Escape his bat.
That won't work.
Huh.
He did that because he's trying to play around the crucifix. His hand is
Yeah.
forcing his hand.
He doesn't take damage from
He,
Agatha. I guess because it's only when it's
no, it
successfully.
didn't resolve. Yeah, it didn't
Okay.
resolve. He's
Which
probably got a hand with some mesmerizes and some fangs clogging up his hand, and he knows he doesn't want to do that or he's going to get crucifixed.
strength again.
Dodge. Oh,
Garlic.
good
Okay.
garlic. Keep your mitts off of me.
Well, now a double claw would kill him, or a plot and then a claw.
Plot and then a claw would do it. Yeah, you're right. So do you punch?
To escape. GG. Oh, he escapes his bat. Okay.
Sister Agatha will damage him, but that's going to be the game, yeah.
So he gets Fury points from the escape his bat because it's Monday. Is that the deal?
Yes, he actually will. Good question. Yeah, he actually will because he'll be putting a new hideout onto the trail. So when he puts a hideout onto the trail, he's going to get points.
I see. I don't think I've ever seen that interaction in my my time yet. that would be
Yeah,
GG.
I don't think I've seen it either, because typically when it's this late into the game, Dracula has a lot of difficulty escaping because of his pride. Yeah, that'll put him up to 11, and then
Yeah,
he'll
that'll
move to
do it.
knight for game. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff.
Clever.
The only thing you could do now is
So I guess,
CG him and take a blind guess and force him into the ocean, but even then he'd just land and win anyway on the turn afterwards.
and Strider's been around the block for a while. He could have just batted to Madrid. You know, why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah, that
learned
makes sense.
something. I had never had reason to think about whether escape is bad, would it affect the influence tracker or not.
Yep, his hand did have the fangs. He
Wow.
escapes. Good game. I mean,
Yeah,
it was actually really close. I mean, Dracula's brought down to what, 4 hit points?
pretty good, given all things considered.
I mean, the guy really had everything working against him, and he made a really solid effort. Couple little issues like maybe moving Van Helsing onto Dracula's space a little prematurely. That ended up kind of spiraling into a much bigger problem. Also, Van Helsing dodging in round 1 is another. It's another thing I don't necessarily approve of. Van Helsing, you gotta think like an old man. You can't be throwing punches and trying to dodge and all that. That you're an old man. You gotta escape, or you gotta like just crank